On behalf of Sanoma Publishers, I warmly welcome you here at TEDx Amsterdam. Within 6 hours, deserts receive more energy from the sun than humankind consumes within a year. What opportunities are there to be found? The DESERTEC concept is one of the most effective means of tackling the problem of climate change. And the man behind that concept is my guest at this table, Gerhard Knies. Gerhard, it's an honor to have you as my guest in this little conversation. Can you tell the viewers what DESERTEC is all about? Now, is that a difficult question or not?
Well, we have a global problem. 10 billion people will be here soon and are expecting a decent life. And the way we live now, we are destroying the capacity of Earth to carry people. If over 50% of this destruction comes from the energy sector, from the use of fossil fuels, climate change is the most obvious effect of it. Now, if you would eliminate fossil fuels, we would stop to degrade our environment. And secondly, fossil fuels are running into an end. So our civilization, the tank, will be empty. And so we should...
Short interruption. You're talking about 10 billion people, right? In sometime near future. And you explain in your presentation the Earth can only carry like 3 billion. So how do we solve that absolute problem then?
Yes. Well, the 3 billion right now, it's close to 5 still, but it is on a decline. The carrying capacity by 40 years from now, it may be only 3 billion. And to make the Earth fit to carry 10 billion people, we need energy. Because with energy, we can produce more water for desalination and by reprocessing water. That's the most urgent thing. Then we can produce more food by irrigation and by fertilizing and by distribution. All this requires energy.
So energy is like the source of all those things you can do.
Energy is the key to solve all these problems.
So what's unique about DESERTEC?
DESERTEC is tapping into the largest source of clean and renewable energies or inexhaustible energies that we are having on Earth, namely solar radiation, and the easiest place and the most efficient place to tap into it are the deserts, because you have all the year more or less sunshine.
Yeah. And there's nothing happening anyway, so you have the space to build stuff?
Yes.
Because you're talking about huge, to make it concrete, you're talking about huge fields with solar power systems.
Well, huge in particular, many. A field might have a size of 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer, but in the end we need thousands of such collector fields, and they will be distributed around the Earth through the deserts, so that their power can be delivered to nearby inhabited regions.
And a lot of those regions are close by those deserts, right? That
yes.
Comes in handy, so to speak.
That's where the big growth rates are now. That is in China, that is in India, that is in Arab world. These regions, you have deserts at hand, very easily. So also the region Indonesia, Malaysia can be supplied from Australia, which has very good deserts. So it is possible to change to clean power from deserts as the new power source and not to go on with building fossil fuel plants.
And all those people are watching right now and they think, wow, this man has nice dreams about a better world, and it's such a huge vision you're talking about, because you're talking about 50% of the whole global need you can supply with this system of the concept. How realistic is this?
Well,
Mr. Knies.
So is it possible?
Is it possible?
It is possible. To do this, we need between 0.5% and 1% of all desert areas. So desert space is sufficient. The technology is there and can be manufactured, these collectors.
Really money.
The transmission lines can also be built.
Okay,
now,
so you can transport the energy to the population.
Yes.
Okay,
now,
so that's clear. Then the money.
Now the money, to build new capacities for power, you have to do anyway. And this is close to become cheaper than fossil fuels. I think in a few years, maybe 5 to 10 years from now, it will be competitive. With oil, it is already competitive now. With gas and coal, it will become competitive soon. And the fossil fuel costs will go up. Further, the fossil fuels should also pay for their ecological damages,
which your system doesn't have to.
Don't generate them to begin with. So if they would be charged with some costs for climate change damages, already now they would be not competitive.
So a healthy business plan is easy to make. A healthy business plan is easy to make to get this thing done.
Now the fossil fuels are cheap, and the bill will be paid by our children, grandchildren, and so on, who will then be the victims of the climate change. So it's a very nice deal with our next generation.
So who's behind? I read something, Deutsche Gesellschaft, Club of Rome. I read His Royal Highness Prince Hassan. Who is supporting you? Who's behind this huge thing?
Well, it is
because you're not on your own in a little office.
So that I've started to create a trans-Mediterranean renewable energy cooperation. That is a network of experts, also from North Africa and the Middle East and Europe. So we cooked it up. So we developed a plan. And now we have convinced big industry and big money. So Deutsche Bank, Munich Reinsurance, Siemens, MAN, and so on, and many others, also from North Africa, a big Algerian company, from Spain, Overgoor. So they are now investigating how to get it started.
I can talk for hours with you because there's so much behind it. Because who, at the end, imagine this is there. Then there's it's a powerful system, so it will be very sensitive who will be running it or controlling it, or do you understand what I mean?
Well, it is like maybe the cars in a country. This is not a fleet of cars owned by one company or one person. It is owned by many proprietors.
It's like the internet.
Yes, it is. Here we have these power lines, and you have many independent power plants which feed into the power lines for the transmission. And so there will be hundreds or thousands of independent companies running such power plants and to participate. So it is not one monolithic thing. And also it can be small and can grow in steps. It is nothing like the flight to the moon had to be working as a whole system. Here you can start small and go more and more.
My last question, because it's a really macro, huge thing. Can you also do little things with it? Like, I once was in Africa, and if you can go to a little village and a child that is working or studying in the evening doesn't have any light, can use just a little solar power thing with a little light. Are those projects also in scope for you, or is it only the big thing?
In the end, I think right now already, most of homes are connected to the grid. In Egypt, it is over 95%. In Morocco, this is growing. So off-grid supplies will be done by those things that you described before, by solar home systems. They are the first step. And after a while, you need more. And then the grid will come and will be extended. And so we are working towards a supply system for the grid, because we want also to replace the present fossil fuel plants which are feeding the grid.
I wish you all the success. I will promote your project everywhere I can, and I will follow you. All the success. Thank you for this interview. And thank
Okay.
you for watching this interview. Bye-bye.